Let me tell you the truth the way I wish someone had told me earlier. The first thing I noticed was not shouting, it was not tears, it was not even an argument. It was how my wife, Tara, started changing her clothes before my mother came to visit. At first, I told myself maybe it was normal, maybe Tara just wanted to look more respectful around elders. In Nigeria, people do that. You do not wear anything too free around somebody's mother. So when I saw Tara leave our bedroom in a soft yellow gown, then come back 5 minutes later in a long dark skirt and high neck blouse, I said nothing. I even smiled and told her she looked nice. But then it happened again and again. Before we continue, um, if you are new to this YouTube channel, please like, share your thought about this story, subscribe and share the story with your friends. Let's continue. Not only with clothes, with perfume too, with jewelry, with the way she laughed, with the way she sat, with the way she carried plates in her own house like she was visiting somebody else's home. I thought it was nothing until it kept happening. Tara was not that kind of woman when I married her. That was one of the reasons I loved her. When I met Tara, she worked at a small interior store in Surulere. She was not loud. She was not fake. She had peace inside her. Even when other people were trying too hard, Tara stayed simple. She would smile with her whole face. She would speak gently. She did not chase money or impress people. She made me feel calm, and at that time, calm was something I needed badly. I was already doing well before I met her. My logistics business had grown faster than I expected. I had a new house, I had two cars, I had money, but I also had pressure. Everybody had an opinion about my life. Everybody had a plan for my money. Everybody, especially my mother, believed they had earned the right to decide what kind of woman should marry me. Then I married Tara, and my mother never forgave me for choosing peace over permission. I did not know that yet, at least not fully. In the beginning, I only noticed the small things, like the way Tara stopped eating at the dining table whenever my mother came around. The first time she said she was not hungry. The second time she said she had already eaten in the kitchen. The third time she smiled and said, I just want to serve you people first. Serve us people. That was the kind of thing house help said, not wives. I looked at Tara that day and felt something cold touch my chest. But still, I told myself maybe it was normal. My mother liked respect. My sister Vivian copied whatever my mother liked. Maybe Tara was just trying to keep peace. Peace can make a woman do strange things. Still, the pattern kept growing. If my mother called and said, Daniel, I'm nearby, I'll stop by, Tara's shoulders would tighten first before she answered, okay. If Vivian sent a message saying, we're coming, Tara would immediately start cleaning a house that was already clean. Cushions would get straightened, curtains would get touched, water glasses would appear on trays. Tara would check herself in the mirror like a student waiting for inspection. One evening, I watched her wipe the same kitchen counter 3 times. Tara, I said, half laughing, are we expecting the president? She laughed too fast. No, now, I just want the place to look good. Our house already looks good. She nodded. I know, but her hand did not stop moving. That was when confusion started. A few days later, I came home early from work because a meeting got cancelled. Usually, I got home after 6. That day, I entered by 4:30. The house was quiet, too quiet. I found Tara in the laundry room folding one of my mother's wrappers. My mother was not there. I stood at the door and watched Tara smooth the cloth with both hands like she was afraid of it. Tara, I said, why are you washing my mother's wrapper in this house? She jumped so hard the wrapper nearly fell. Oh, she said, breathing quickly. She forgot it the last time she came. I stepped closer and she asked you to wash it. Tara looked down. It was already here. It's not a problem. Maybe it was not a problem. Maybe that too was normal. But I knew my mother, Mama Grace, did not forget things. She planted them. She left things behind in places the way some people left marks. A scarf on a chair, a Bible on a shelf, a handbag in the guest room, a wrapper in the laundry basket. Little signs that said, I was here, I still belong here. I did not say that out loud. I just watched my wife fold the wrapper again, slower this time. That night, I asked her, are you happy? She looked at me as if the question was too big for the room. Yes, she said. I waited. She added, why are you asking me like that? Because I did not know how else to ask. Because happy people do not go silent when the gate opens. Because happy people do not change clothes 3 times before visitors arrive. Because happy people do not look relieved when those visitors finally leave. But I still try to be gentle. You've changed, I told her. You hardly sing in this house again. Tara forced a smile. Maybe I'm just tired. From what? Life, she said, and then she walked away. That answer stayed with me, not because it explained anything, because it explained nothing. The next Sunday made it worse. My mother and Vivian came after church. Vivian was 31, unmarried, angry at every woman who was not miserable. She had a sharp tongue and a pretty face she used like a weapon. The minute she entered, she looked at Tara's dress and said, so this is what married women wear now? Tara looked down at herself. It was just a simple blue dress, decent, clean, beautiful on her. Before I could say anything, my mother laughed softly and said, leave her. She's still learning our ways. Our ways. I hated that sentence. It made marriage sound like Tara had crossed a border into enemy land. I watched Tara smile, not a real smile, the kind that breaks your heart because it is trying to survive. That afternoon, I went upstairs to take a work call. While I was speaking, I heard footsteps outside the room, fast, nervous, then silence. When I came out, Tara was coming from the kitchen with a tray. Her eyes were red. I covered my phone and asked quietly, did you cry? She shook her head too quickly. Pepper entered my eye. Pepper. Every lie in marriage has a small sound. That day, I heard it clearly. After my call, I went downstairs. My mother was in the sitting room talking about family property. Vivian was laughing. Tara was nowhere near them. Where is Tara? I asked. My mother answered for her. Kitchen. Where else? A wife should know where she is needed. The words were simple, but something about the way she said them made my stomach turn. Later that night, after they left, I found Tara in our room arranging my ties by color. She did not need to do that. She had already arranged them before. She was doing it just to keep her hands busy. I sat on the bed and said, talk to me. I am talking to you. No, you are hiding from me. She froze with one of my ties in her hand. For 1 second, I thought she would finally open up. I thought she would sit beside me and pour everything out. I thought maybe I would hear something small, something easy to fix. Instead, she said, Daniel, please don't make this harder. Harder. My chest tightened. Harder than what? She closed the drawer softly. Your mother is your mother. He stared at her. That was not an answer. That was a warning. I stood up. What does that mean? It means I don't want trouble. In my own house, Tara looked at me then, and I will never forget that look for as long as I live. It was not anger. It was not weakness. It was fear mixed with shame, like somebody had been fighting a private war and was tired of losing quietly. Before she could speak, her phone vibrated on the bed. She grabbed it too fast, too late. I had already seen the message on the screen. It was from my mother, and all it said was, "Remember what I told you? Before Daniel comes home, put the money back where it belongs and dress properly next time." I looked at Tara. Tara looked at me, and in that 1 second, my marriage stopped feeling safe. I did not speak for a few seconds. I just stood there looking at Tara's phone like maybe I had read it wrong, but I had not. The message was still there, clear, cold, ugly. My mother had told my wife to put money back where it belongs. Not our money, not house money, money. As if Tara had no right to touch anything in the home she lived in, as if she was a worker being monitored, as if my mother still had power over what happened inside my marriage. I lifted my eyes slowly and looked at Tara. "Tara," I said, and even to me, my voice sounded different. "What money?" Tara's lips parted, but no sound came out. "What money?" I asked again. She sat down on the edge of the bed, like her legs could not hold her anymore. Then she pressed both hands together and looked at the floor. For the first time since we got married, I saw what silence had done to her. It had made her smaller, not in body, in spirit, and I hated myself for seeing it so late. "She gave me cash 3 weeks ago," Tara said at last. She said it was for food items and small house things. She said since I'm the woman of the house now, I should learn how to manage better. I frowned. "My mother gave you money for this house?" Tara nodded once. I felt anger rise in me, like fire catching dry grass. I was the one paying every bill in that house. Rent was covered, food was covered, generator fuel, staff wages, internet, electricity, even the flowers Tara liked by the dining table, everything. So why would my mother be giving my wife money unless the money was never help, unless it was a chain? What happened to the money? I asked. Tara swallowed hard. "I used part of it, not for myself, for the kitchen, fruits, cleaning things, some groceries." Then she came back and started asking how much was left. I told her. She looked at me like I had stolen from her. I sat beside her, but I did not touch her yet. I wanted her to keep talking. She said in her day, a good wife knew how to stretch money. She said I was wasteful. Vivian said a woman from my kind of background would always rush to spend. Tara's voice shook on that sentence. "After that, your mother said I should never mention it to you because you would not understand women's training." Women's training. I almost laughed, but there was no joy in me. That was how my mother worked. She would wrap control in the language of care. She would wound you and call it correction. She would humiliate you and name it wisdom. I had grown up under it, so I knew the shape of it. But I had never imagined she would bring that same hand into my marriage. "And the clothes?" I asked quietly. "The way you keep changing before they come, the way you stop eating, the way you disappear into the kitchen, is that also women's training?" Tara shut her eyes. When she opened them, they were wet. "She says I embarrass her," Tara whispered. "She says my dresses are too cheap looking, too simple. She says I carry myself like somebody who got lucky, not somebody who belongs in this family. Vivian says I sound too local when I greet visitors. She corrects how I sit, how I serve food. how I talk to the driver, even how I laugh. Every word landed like a slap. I wanted to ask why Tara had hidden this from me. I wanted to ask why she kept taking it. But the answer was right there in front of me. She loved me, and she had been trying to protect peace in my home by letting herself bleed quietly. I did not want to be the reason you fought with your mother, Tara said. You love her. She raised you. I kept thinking maybe if I stayed calm, maybe if I tried harder, she would soften. That broke something in me because Tara had not been weak. She had been hopeful, and my mother had used that hope against her. I finally took Tara's hand. It was cold. Look at me, I said. She did. You are my wife, not my mother's project, not Vivian's servant, not an outsider in this house. Do you hear me? A tear rolled down her face. She nodded. No, I said gently. Say it. Her lips trembled. I am your wife, and this is your home. This is my home. The words were simple, but they mattered. I needed her to hear them from my mouth. Maybe I also needed to hear them from my own. That night, I did not sleep much. Tara finally slept close to dawn, but I stayed awake staring at the ceiling fan, thinking about every small thing I had ignored, every fake smile, every quick excuse, every time my mother answered for Tara in my own house, every time Vivian visited without respect. I remember the red eyes, the careful clothes, the silent meals, the folding of that wrapper like it was an instruction she could not refuse. By morning, I was no longer confused. I was clear, very clear. Around 10 o'clock, my mother called. I looked at the screen for 1 second, then answered. Daniel, she said in a sweet public voice, I was thinking of stopping by this afternoon. Vivian wants to see that cutting material in your guest room. No, I said. There was a pause. No, you are not coming. Another pause, longer this time. Daniel, what kind of way is that to speak to your mother? The kind of way a husband speaks when his wife is being disrespected in his house. Silence, real silence. Then my mother laughed, but the softness was gone now. So Tara has started poisoning your ears. I stood by the window and watched the gate below. My voice stayed calm. Nobody poisoned my ears. I opened my eyes. Daniel, no, Mama, you will listen today. I had never spoken to her like that before. Maybe that was why my own heart was beating so hard. You will not give my wife money and then monitor her like a child. You will not insult her clothes, her voice, her background, or her place in my life. You will not come into my home and turn my wife into staff. And Vivian will never again speak to Tara the way she has been speaking to her. My mother inhaled sharply. Because of one woman, you are talking to me like this? Because of one woman. That sentence told me everything. No mother who respected a marriage would describe a son's wife that way. Because she is my wife, I said, that is enough. She has changed you. No, marriage showed me what I should have fixed long ago. For a moment, I had nothing except breathing. Then my mother spoke with the old steel I knew from childhood. If you shut me out for this girl, don't forget who stood by you before success came. There it was. The death. The weapon every controlling parent keeps polished. I suffered for you. So now I own part of your future. I closed my eyes once, then answered. I will honor you as my mother, but you will not rule my marriage. That chapter is over. She cut the call. I stood still for a few seconds, phone still in my hand. My body was hot with anger, but under that anger was something else. Relief. Not complete relief. The kind that comes after the first real breath in a long time. When I turned, Tara was standing at the bedroom door. She had heard enough. Her face looked stunned, like she did not know whether to believe what had just happened. I walked to her slowly. It's done, I said. Her eyes filled again. Daniel, no more secret instructions, no more surprise visits, no more disrespect. If they come here, they come with peace. If they cannot do that, they do not come. Tara covered her mouth and cried, not loudly, just deeply, like someone who had been holding back water behind a weak wall. He held her, and for the first time in weeks, maybe months, her body did not feel tense in my arms. That afternoon, I changed the gate instructions with security. Nobody entered without my approval. I moved all household budgeting fully to Tara, openly and clearly, with records she and I could both see. No outside cash, no hidden control. Then I called Vivian. She picked on the second ring. Big brother, mommy said. I don't care what mommy said. Silence. Then, excuse me, you heard me. You will not mock my wife again. Not her voice, not her clothes, not her background, nothing. Vivian laughed in disbelief. Wow. So Madame has finally won. This is not a game, Vivian. That's your problem. You keep treating other people's homes like theaters for your bitterness. Her voice turned sharp. You think she loves you. These humble girls always have plans. I almost ended the call there, but I wanted my last words to stay in her head. Maybe she has a plan, I said. Maybe her plan is the one thing this family has been missing, peace. I hung up. That evening, Tara and I ate together at the dining table. No visitors, no tension, just the sound of spoons, soft light, and one long silence that was finally peaceful instead of painful. Halfway through the meal, Tara looked at me and asked the question that mattered most. Will they ever forgive me? I reached for her hand. This is not about them forgiving you, I said. This is about you never begging to belong in your own life again. She looked down, then back at me. And this time, when she smiled, it was real. Small, tired, emotional, but real. Outside, my phone lit up again and again on the table. Calls from my mother, messages from Vivian. I turned the phone face down. For the first time, I chose the woman in front of me without apology. And in that quiet moment, my house stopped feeling like a battleground. It finally started feeling like a home.